Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final Capsule cast of the 2024 year. And with me, I have some very special guests. But first, let me start with my co-host, since he technically is Fathappy.
Hello, hello, hello.
Right?
I am sorry to say that I am sick at this time, so I might be a bit more silent than usual.
It, it is all fair. We are glad that you could join us. Next, we have our lovely coach of Derp and the championship winner of 2024. Welcome, Fiora.
Happy to be here, and Merry Christmas to all our viewers.
Yes, yes. And our extremely special guest here we have Malachi, our modder, staff member. Say hello.
I
Yes. Do we want to say anything before we get going? How's everybody?
so
We're good.
so much time in the modding dungeon trying to get ready for everything. Don't worry about the man behind the curtain. He is just on the ground with a headache.
and a baby.
Yeah, I'm really excited for all the upcoming stuff with the mods. So we'll get into that later.
Yes. For right.
The mods are a nice Christmas gift for the league.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they
yes. And well, I guess with that, we will get to moving on to the third place match. Pretty sure no one remembers this.
I do. It was a very
I remember a
convincing.
chunk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All I know is that he was here.
I
Yeah,
remember these characters existing.
Yes.
I remember Hybrids pulling out a very surprising win, even using Ultra Divine Water and bringing in Kid Gohan. And I mean, if I remember correctly, one of the rounds they didn't even bring out one of their characters, but the other round was fairly close.
I believe that was right.
Yeah, I'm taking a look now.
But yeah.
While he's doing that, I can go a bit into the build choices. I was booing this man, False God, coach of hybrids, because
False God's not coach.
from the lineup he was. Oh, well, I was booing hybrids, okay? Because they were essentially throwing the match, trying to get the fourth place so that they would get a little more zenny. Come on, that's not the competitive spirit. You're throwing in Kid Gohan at the last second, and you're giving him Ultra Divine Water, and it's like everyone's on test builds. Somehow you swept 2-0. I don't know how. I don't know if that annoys me more or less than if you lost.
It's because the game knows when you're trying to take advantage of it, and it will spite you. You have no idea how many times I have gone in saying, look, I know exactly how this is going to go, but I'm going to do my due diligence and do staff testing, and the game is like, ha, sucks to be you, because we're going to do the exact opposite of what you thought. And it never fails. This game knows what you think, it knows what you want, and it will do the opposite out of spite.
And the game knew this is the first time Hybrid's bringing Kid Gohan the entire season. Be like, yeah, you're gonna win.
I don't even think Gohan specifically did too much, because I'm pretty sure he lost to Krillin both times. It was just everyone else more than carrying their weight.
Yeah, Kid did not do great, it looks like. But I mean, he still did really good considering what build he was running and the fact he's up against a melee monster in Krillin, who can just take advantage of that defense -2 that Kid Gohan has.
Well, defense -1 with Ultra Divine Water, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine being Kid Gohan in that situation, You've been sitting on the bench the whole season, you've been cooking some food for your teammates, keeping them nice. And then all of a sudden, your coach is saying, "Hey, you're our starter in the championship. Drink this holy water."
I mean, if I just went back and checked the tape for at least round one, Kid Gohan was definitely not the reason for victory. Like, he did like one bar round one before going down to Krillin.
Yeah, he did like a bar and a half round two. But yeah, he is that like the team. The rest of the team did great because it's. I mean, they swept Earth Defenders, who have not been a lightweight team this year. They were number 4 for a reason. I mean, this was just, as I said, the game knew what Hybrids was doing, and it spited them.
Take your one less Zenny, you get the bronze medal.
Yep. Well, then they will get to participate and get to play with overpowered builds, and if we do the Dragon Trials the same way we did this past year. So they'll get to build round 1 in a couple months' time.
I just realized. I hope that's true because I get to do builds.
Same.
Yeah, y'all will get to do rounds 2 and 3 of overpowered builds, and getting to vent your frustrations to the rest of the league on having to deal with lineups that are historically struggling.
Try and break through defense +6 to door, you idiots.
The immovable object himself.
The immovable wall.
By the way, I think I figured out why Hybrids won.
Mhm.
It's because they have half a Saiyan more than ED total.
It's true.
Yeah, they do have 2.5 Saiyans.
Yep. No matter who they brought in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, Destiny, I like how the graphic for the team is coded, where it's just a small Gohan up to bigger Gohan.
Followed by bad timeline Gohan.
Yep.
I can tell you right now that was not coincidental. I just put it like that.
Very nice, very nice.
Well, we said all we needed to say about our third and fourth place teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at least.
All right, prepare for the
I hope
jumble.
Hope you like working on OP builds, Hybrids. At least you get that much out of it.
All right, prepare for the jumble that's coming up next. So we have the MVP.
Oh yeah.
And go ahead, Mel.
I was just gonna say we had quite a few fun matches in this one.
First off, congratulations, Frost, for getting the MVP. Sadly, did not fully go through and beat Herc, but still, congratulations to Frost. I believe it was Frost versus Ultimate at the very last.
Yep. That sounds right. Well, let me double check. Because I remember we had Frost face off against one Gohan incorrectly, because we got the order backwards, and that stands out.
Yeah, there was someone fought Gohan. What? Oh,
yeah, it was Ultimate Gohan. He fought Gohan wrongly, but yeah, no, he was just able to take advantage. Frost was just able to take advantage of the with the stuns, and he did really well with that. And I do want to call out, like, we saw King Piccolo redeem himself on a 4 to 5 point build.
because they gave him, like, what was it? Be a Secret Arts and Savior.
ASA and Savior. Yeah.
I mean,
even into the semis, right?
I mean, that is the problem with MVP, is that, like, sometimes you get into MVP on a build that relies on having a team around you, and then you can't use the same build for the actual MVP matches.
Yeah, Well, and that's one of the ways that MVP is meant to be a little less serious. Is it is 1v1, so it's like it's sometimes just hard to
Plus, there's the
build.
fact that before this year,
It was
there
all
was
on
ring
World-
outs.
it was all on
We've
World
had some
tournaments, yeah.
funny moments happen from that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we had King Piccolo redeem himself from his cowardly running away from Frieza all those years ago that we will never let him live down until this year when he just beat the crap out of Frieza.
Yep. I will say
Yeah.
there's at least two people here that I was never expecting would be MVP of their teams, and it's Nam and Spopovich.
Yeah. Nam Spopovich especially did really well this year for Buu Saga.
It's what happens when he gets an actual build instead
Yeah.
of table scraps.
Pretty much.
Because before he would, I remember pretty distinctly that Swopovich was basically just the give him whatever nobody else is using guy. The others are more important.
Yep.
He would almost exclusively be a tank or just have a combination of some fairly weak Protaras as a result of that. This year, you gave him a build, attack +2, I think, and Eternal Life.
Yep.
Worked wonders.
It did. I think he overperformed a little. I think as the league, if he was to be in next season, I think as the league evolved and adapted to that, he would go back down to about a 40k character. But I'm not gonna lie, it was really good seeing Spopovich perform that well, especially when Buu Saga, all of Buu Saga really came and showed up, and it was just none of them underperformed really.
Their worst character, I think, was Fat Boo, and he still did 35k.
Yeah.
Another one I'm surprised about is Sin, because normally for GT their MVP was one of the two Vegetas, but both of them have been not really doing as great this year. But Sin really showed up.
Well, not
Baby
only
especially has been tragic.
Yeah, but it's not only just that. I think they put Super +2 on Sen for a large part of the season, and I mean, he was doing really good with those blazing storms. And when that blazing storm hit, or whatever it's called from Sen, it was 9 to 10k every time. And I mean, it just adds up. Yes, you have the roulette of trap. Is he going to use nothing but trap shooter? But I mean, oh my goodness, when he used that blazing storm, bye health bar.
I mean, even then,
Nerfed, by the way.
Yeah.
The original was way more broken.
And to be honest, even then, if he does do trap shooter, since he's on Super 2, if he gets at least half of the trap shooters hitting for just 2 bars, it will do pretty good.
That's 3 to 4k if it half hits, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
On Super +2.
Like that. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, and he's one of the characters that really loves to spam them closer range.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I will say I think GT had a somewhat tragic season because Sin ended the season at 45k, and then the second highest was Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta at 41k, and then everyone else is below 40.
Well, I mean, there's a reason they revamped their team this year.
And was it? Also, it was pretty tragic this year as well because they were doing really good before the All-Star Week happened, and then after All-Stars happened, they took a really big tumble.
GT did a reverse GT. In seasons past, they wouldn't get any wins until week 7 or something, and then go on a winning streak. This year, they were basically undefeated, and then they didn't win a single match for the rest of the season.
Yep. Joys of an RNG league.
For those of you curious, by the way, why Frost was not on key +2 like he normally is, I gave him attack +2 for this event. I thought we were at the normal arena with ring outs. I did not want him to ping himself to oblivion.
Yeah, that was just something that I think was just miscommunication, right, Mel? It was just
Yeah, we announced it last, like during the off season, and we just forgot to re-announce it to everybody
yeah.
because that was a change that a lot of people have asked for a while, and in part because we have the LVP now to be the much more comedic. Here's ring outs. Here's dumb stuff going on. And people wanted a more straightforward. Let's actually do the 1v1s for a real MVP, not just hey who can do the best while also avoiding ring outs. So, but yeah, no, we could have done better. It's just as we're going up to the bowl, like there's so many moving pieces that stuff just kind of got stuff. Some of the communication that normally would have been vetted and made sure we had done would have been it just didn't get done.
There was quite a lot of stuff leading up to the bowl that we can certainly get to later.
Oh yeah.
There is one character I'm actually, for how he was doing this season, I'm actually surprised of how quickly he really lost in the MVP aura.
Yep.
Oh, shush you.
He was told the future of his incoming nerf, and it made his performance worse.
Well,
Yeah,
not only
clearly the nerf was communicated to Deborah before it was communicated to me. And so Deborah's, his motivation was just in shambles.
he saw the future. He knew what was going to happen.
Exactly.
Apparently.
Exactly.
Although I will say, like, some of that too is let's see, I'm trying to remember who was there for Sentai. Was it
Ultimate
Go on.
Ultimate? That's right. Yeah, like that. Some of that is also just Ultimate has been. I think this is Ultimate's best season on this AI setting.
I can
'Cause, like-
actually check in my tier lists on that. Real
Yeah,
quick.
like because he had a 60K average this year. Like he was just on fire, and I don't know that you can really fault Deborah too much for losing that. That being said, I still think if I remember correctly, he still kind of just did not spam like he should have, and Ultimate just
Like
kind of manhandled him.
Yeah, like normally he at least goes in with a couple B2s while doing melee, and he just really didn't do it this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't really fire any B2s as far as I remember.
Yeah.
This is actually essentially tied for his best year because in 2020 he also averaged about 60K.
Okay.
Still crazy good though.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Also on a completely different team.
Yep.
Honestly, this season's just been, to be honest, at least the MVP portion, it's like, yeah, you have some names that are like normally there, like 13, 16,
Yep.
like kind of jumbled around with the other two main people on this team, Pasha, Aurelie,
18.
yeah, 18.
Some usual suspects, but also some surprises, like we mentioned with 4-point King Piccolo.
One that surprised me was certainly Kid Goku for Kaiju, since Bardock was actually their LVP this year.
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
they.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure Bardock had 2 weeks of cleanup back to back.
Yeah.
So that really did tank his performance. Like, I'm actually in my tier list right now. He had 2 weeks where he did less than 3K this year because of that.
Yeah. Well, and some of that is also, remember, some teams always have the opportunity to say, hey, we don't feel like Bardock was our LVP, or we don't feel like Kid Goku was our LVP, and this is why. And I think the only team that really pushed for that this year was Earth Defenders for Krillin.
Yeah.
Usually we have a few more, like, I know in the past, Kaiju has had to get their MVP changed for similar reasons. So it's just sometimes teams want to make that fight, sometimes they don't for whatever reason.
Yep. one more thing for me before we move on. We still have quite a bit. It is nice since Ultimate was on a different team this year.
It was.
That Hybrids actually had a different MVP, and it was Future
Yep.
Gohan.
Yep.
Anyone else have some last minute say for this?
I like how many characters in this year's MVP that seem rather unusual for MVP.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's more characters here that I would not expect to be MVP than there are characters where I'm like, yeah, of course they're MVP. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, two things for me. One, Aurelie for Rugrats. That's unusual, mainly because Kid Trunks has been like their MVP forever.
Yep.
So that's
Fair.
weird.
Hmm.
And I did say, I changed Broad Spill for this tournament. Considering I won, I'm not complaining about the miscommunication.
Oh, I never thought you were like. As staff, I do take it seriously to try and make sure that communication is well handled, and that stuff that people are operating all on the same playbook, because that's what makes it a fair competition. No, it's completely legitimate to say, "Hey, Mal, you screwed up,"
Mm-hmm. Fair.
which happens a lot. So
We're humans. We're kind of busy, sometimes things just get forgotten.
Yep.
Uh, since I believe we're all finished, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of tournaments, we have our boss rush, which is the winners of tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think this is my favorite of the boss rush themes we came up with. Oh, I get to update the GT one for because we have new GT characters. Okay.
Mhm.
Anyway, yeah, no, I love this boss rush theme.
It was
So
certainly a challenge from what it looked like.
yeah, we had only South Kai made it through this year, and that was just
I'm sorry.
Jiren.
I'm sorry, you're wrong.
I'm
Jiren made it
Jiren
through,
made it
not
through,
South
yeah,
Kai.
Jiren.
Very fair. Jiren made it through. I think I think the stat count was Jiren pulled off 160k performance.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you
Yeah.
who may have not been there, back in the day, Nova Shinron was allowed to have eternal life, and this was before he got his nerfs. He
Mhm.
almost pulled off he pulled off 160,000 performance and almost sold a team, hence his nerfs.
Yes. Well, we've had a very occasionally a character what will solo. Like we before Nova, I think it was the first week of the preseason
Please.
in season 7, mid Goku soloed the Ginyu Force.
I believe there was at one point as well in the old league, Scouter soloed a team as well.
Yes, Scouter also soloed the team. I believe it was Earth Defenders. And just did insane amounts of damage. So it occasionally happens. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had, based off of some of the other changes we made, I had to go do some last minute testing to be like, we didn't miss anything, did we?
can I just say the graphic that introduced this boss rush team was
It was
super good.
except
It was.
except Goku, poor Goku.
FGR had to kind of work with what he had. I think he
Fair,
did
fair.
a great job on the graphic.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's still great. It just it definitely looks like Goku got the short end of the stick there.
Yeah, it was Goku and Kid Trunks. He struggled to get some good stuff for. But as I said, he did a fantastic job. I love the fact that we were able to do that for the boss rush.
Yeah, it was very good, very surprising. I do believe you can actually go back and see the builds, especially if you just look at the chats. Jiren technically had a different Patara than what he normally does, because I don't remember what he normally has, but Jiren was on Key +2 2-1, AV Nation, Master Blast, Savior, Sirius with Master Roshi String. So he had a lot of damage stacking up.
Yeah, he had a lot of stats with that extra health bar. The fact of his Master Roshi's training is what made me have to go back and double check everything. But thankfully, with Master Roshi's training being at 4 and not 2, I think it will be fine.
Yeah, he could still do that type of thing, just not with as many Fataras.
Yeah, it will be harder.
Yeah, talking outside of the South Kai match, aka the Jiren show, North Kai actually did pretty well, especially for the first team. Like they got everyone to hit the field, which East and West Kai, I don't think either of them did.
No, I think East Kai, if East Kai I think got close. If they got everybody from the Boss Rush team on the field, it was due to tags.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the Boss Rush team was super tag happy, whereas the challengers were not. You'd think they were all on Yajirobe AI or something.
I can promise you they were not.
I do believe at least the biggest roadblock for a few of the teams, Boss Rush, was
Roshi, the starter.
It was Roshi the starter, and then Kid Trunks.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's what happens when you run max defense and super +3 respectively.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as I said, I think we balanced it quite well. So as far as I'm concerned, it was a perfect way for that to go.
It was very fun.
I think this has been one of the most interesting Boss Rush teams, like that y'all have come up with. So,
do you mean theming wise, or just like in
Yeah.
terms of the build comps?
well, theming and also build wise, it's just like because the characters by themselves, very few of them seem like characters that are just naturally quote unquote overpowered. It's more just like, I don't know, we took some really thematic characters and we gave them sick builds. So
what is it? I believe
it was good.
I believe
Hyper Melee TN, Tank Roshi, Nuke Trunks, like 7 health bar Hercule. Can't remember Goku at all.
I think Goku was wasn't Tien big melee and Goku.
Goku was Ultimate Warrior 1, B1 Bargain, B2 Bonanza, King Kai's Training, and Overflowing Key.
He was just a lot of things.
Yeah, he was the generalist. He got a little bit of everything. So he had a lot going on for him. It's just he didn't necessarily have the high output that other characters had. Because like Tien had max attack, Kid Trunks had super +3,
Roshi could just live.
and style of it strong.
Roshi could just live and do his damage.
Yes. And then Herc had Ultimate Warrior 3 and Ultra Ego and Strength and Style of the Strong. So like he was built to do damage, especially as he got close to the end.
Yeah. This is the third year we've done Boss Rush?
Yes, because last year I want to say was Team Fusion.
And then the first year was the Z villains.
Yes. Because the first year it was we balanced it and we did well, but we had 2 teams make it through. Last year I think only one team got through or nobody got through. And then this year we had 1 team get through. And one character. Fair. Fair. Jiren proving he truly is the strongest.
Yep.
But yeah, like and just as a reminder, like this is not supposed to be. These are not supposed to be easy fights. You are supposed to take them seriously if you want a shot at taking them down.
I mean, let's be real. Jiren being the one character to outperform absolutely everyone in existence, it's very fitting because UI Goku and Beerus didn't exist yet.
Yep.
So, so maybe next season it'll be different.
Maybe.
All right. So, are we said all our thoughts?
I think we have.
I think so.
All right. Just gonna take a sip of water real quick. All right. As for that, we can move on to the really big thing of the Tenkaichi Bowl, our championship match, which it may look weird by the whole scoring, but it may not look close by the whole scoring, but in my opinion, it did feel kind of close.
Yeah, it really did. Like, especially that final round, I really thought Cinema was going to take it to 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
They were, both teams really gunned for this.
Both teams' first time being in the championship, because I believe Derp's only made it to what, 3rd place?
In the past seasons, like seasons 9 and 8, I think Derp did make it to the finals, but they didn't win either time back then.
But in the new league, this is your first time.
Yes, for the new league, the furthest I'd ever gotten to was 3rd place back in 2021.
And I just want to say, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything. Definitely big help with my teammates, but to the arc that Cinema went through from 2020 till now is a big one, because we got to qualifiers in 2020, partly due to just teams having bad luck that year, and we got out immediately to Muscle, and then 3 seasons without being in playoffs, and now 2024 we were 2nd place. Currently a big ride.
See, as a double champion, and even though we just had our best season ever in terms of win-loss, we thought, you know what? How about we can let some new blood into the championship bowl? You know, so that's why I wasn't in the bowl. That's my excuse.
It's not like adult Gohan nuked you into oblivion or anything.
No. That didn't happen.
Not like he nuked the peanut into oblivion.
But no, it's quite exciting to see these 2 teams in particular in the finals. I feel like historically, well, at least, I mean, at this point, like Derp, you've all had like a lot of new characters added, but historically, Derp has been seen as one of the weaker teams in the league, and I feel like Cinema for the longest time has been one of the teams where it's like, on paper,
on
paper, my team could be like the strongest team.
Yes, I can confirm, on paper and in a bunch of testing that has been thrown your way, you are one of the stronger teams.
It's just that never actually came out in practice because you didn't even make the bowl 3 years in a row.
Yep.
So quite an exciting championship.
Mm-hmm.
I will.
I can say that going into this year, I was expecting some improvements between Frost getting added to the roster and, you know, testing out 21, you know, try to actually make her work. You know, last year she was averaging like 20K because she was on a demonic bargain build. You know, I was surprised I even made it to the finals, and I was just stunned that my team won the championship.
For my team going into this year, we switched up how our testing style works, because for the last few years our testing's been really wonky, and then also you know, having to try to work with the fact that Jane now has a giant transformation, And
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. Big Jane is really hard to work with. But no, yeah, going into
He has that funny grab.
yeah, that wasn't the problem. It was his B2s.
Yeah, but the grab makes up for it, right?
Just build for melee.
Yeah.
You know, just build for melee. Give him Dragon Spirit. You know, just make sure he always has B1 stocks and rock. You know, abuse that
I
power
don't think
body.
B1 stocks are a problem when his B1s are Shower Breath and
Instant transmission.
Instant Transmission. I don't think that's a problem for Jade.
Funny enough, we did do Melee Jane like the later half of the season and tried it with a Giant, but apparently Giant also didn't work for that because Melee Jane had a lot of momentum and was kind of fast with his melee, especially with the whole sword mechanic that he has. And then Giant Jane would just slow it down. But going back to what I was trying to say is, going into this season, we were kind of just struggling to try to figure out who gets what. Like, and then when the FAs rolled around, we really wanted to do Gohan, but hybrids beat us to it. So we ended up just grabbing Vegito, and for the longest time, Vegito just would not perform to basically what his money worth it. And then
Yeah, I think it's fair to say up until around playoffs or like super late into the season, Vegeta was a scam.
Yeah,
he was doing like 25K a week.
And that wasn't even involving cleanup either.
Yeah, y'all had a rough time of it with, as far as Vegito was concerned, at least. Like, I think his main season average was like 33K or something.
Yeah, he tripled that in playoffs.
Man kept doing the frame 1 ultimates.
But what is it? But for like me going into the season, I just kept saying if we made it to playoffs, I'd be happy because we didn't make it for 3 years, and to just have what happened happen. Honestly, I think for my second, maybe third year as coach, it really just, I wouldn't say bring a tear to my eye, but it really just makes me happy to see that a team I love and enjoy watching finally made it. So yeah.
It
You
was
haven't really said much on this.
Hold on.
Nope.
I was gonna say you haven't said much, Fathappy. Your thoughts?
Oh, well, as I said, I thought it was like a very about time, like matchup that we got both different people in the playoffs, but also for both Derp and Cinema, just having the opportunity to be in the bowl was like about time. Because both teams are very exciting to watch most of the time. Like beyond just being, wow, it's Royals, they're the villains, or wow, it's Muscle, they're the villains. So
Well, of course they're villains. All the people on the team are evil.
that is true. That is true.
Ignore the actual league performances while I say this.
I don't know. My team is pure evil.
Hey, that
Besides for
I
this
don't think
last
Jello Might
season,
Beam would instantly kill Pilaf.
besides, even on like a meta level for this last season, I've been the only active member on my team. So it's just my own personality shining through.
I thought you did get Rockman
He
participating.
joined during the pickups for the new characters.
Okay, that's what it was.
So yes, this whole season it's been just little me.
Yeah, and you did great.
Thank you.
You
I like
earned
how
that nerf.
I like how I somehow made this talking about the bowl and like the bowl winner and the bowl run-up into talking about Team Royals.
Okay, let's be fair here. You know, you got the best record in the season, and you got the bye week.
Yep.
And you're also a two-time
And you're a
champion.
commentator. You know, it's fine to talk about your own team.
Yeah.
As long as we're in agreement, you know.
Yeah, obviously, Majimuchi gonna need more nerfs.
Now hold your horse.
I won't say that.
B1 charge rates.
Oh. Yeah, no, he got the nerf he got. I'll be honest, in large measure, it's because we thought Deborah wouldn't do the same thing 2 seasons in a row. Because you know we actually thought about doing the same nerf we just did for Deborah last season, but we're like, it's just 1 season, he won't do it again. Deborah literally does the exact same thing again.
To be fair, it's because I found one build that worked on Deborah, and I was like, I would just do it again.
And as well, you should have. And he did great. And as I told you before, like the quote unquote nerf, there were many times when, as I said, it seemed like it didn't do anything. So, you know, do with that what you will.
Exactly, but don't worry. Next season there will be no Deborah anywhere. Deborah is well and truly out of sight.
He might not. He might be.
And your new guy's gonna be the next Deborah. He's gonna do nothing.
I mean, that was.
I'll bet you 1 negative zenny on it.
Yeah. I guess with that, show gets moving on to the last part.
Sure.
Let's.
I just want to say before we move on, this is like the first time any team has won all 3 events for the bowl, right?
I believe it is.
Championship, Boss Rush,
MVP.
MVP.
Yeah, like old league, it's because no one almost ever won the gauntlet.
Well, the gauntlet was just impossible to beat back then because like the 3rd round was just too stacked.
Yeah,
not going to talk about that one.
There was one, maybe not an old league, but a new league for Boss Rush replaced Gauntlet. There was a team that almost made it to round 4.
Yeah,
the fact we couldn't even hit round 4 though says a lot.
Yeah,
I think the Boss Rush was a bit overtuned back then.
Oh, well, I did the tuning for the 2020. Like it was a massive improvement over it. Like the hard part is just it's elimination, and so like, and you only get most teams really only use 1 build for all 4 rounds. And so what would happen is they would tune their builds and do really well against rounds 1 and 2, and then they would hit round 3 and their builds just wouldn't
keep up,
do the same. And you know, were there other things we could do to buff y'all for that? Maybe, but like I just think the Boss Rush was a much better way to go because it helps keep things moving so much more fluidly.
And it was also fresh. But
I agree. I feel like also like this takes less time, assuming that a team wins.
Yep.
Oh, way less time.
Yeah, so with that, are we ready to go on?
I believe so. Congratulations to Derp, and also congratulations to a slightly lesser degree to Cinema. Sorry.
Hey, just take solace in the fact that when Dragon Trials roll around, you guys get overpowered builds.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna specifically say, yeah, fuck Royals.
I love you too, man.
Alright. I guess going on, before we get into everything, I do want to, again, thank everyone for watching for the 2020 season. And please check out the links to the Discord, website, Twitter, TikTok in the description below. Comment for really anything. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell. And I guess while we're here, before we end it, would you like to talk about what coming in 2025 now?
I can certainly do that. So I will just quickly read over all the changes we've made. We've brought in a few new costumes for characters. We have also reduced the cost of a few Pataras like Demon Seal, Broken Glow, and Halo. All those got their cost reduced by 1 point, and it seems like people are actually turning on to it. Like Broken Glow, I know a few people have said they're really happy with now. So before we get to all the new characters you have heard us refer to, one of the other big ones is Master Roshi's training is now an alternative to Eternal Life. So, basically instead of healing, you get an extra bar of health, which means some of the scaling Pataras like Serious, Indignation, or Fighting Spirit, they're a little bit stronger now. We have buffed Ultra Divine Water to include Dende's healing, and it still costs 3 points. Demonic Bargain got a slight buff to include High Tension instead of Tension Up. The Unleashed Latent Power Pataras all got buffed to where instead of like ULP2 giving -40 to your active charge rate, now it's only -20%. They're still all the same cost. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is now a legal starting form. He got his melee damage nerfed a little bit just to make him more league compatible. And then, as we've mentioned before, Deborah's Evil Impulse now costs 3 bars. We also have a bunch of new characters. And I'm just going to list them. I'm not going to list them all. There's a total of 24 characters, 35 total character slots that are being introduced. Be on the lookout on the main channel. Once I get, we had a little bit of issue with the modder we commissioned to help us do this to get it done by the time of the bowl. So still waiting on work from him, but we do have a first pass of the ISO. It's just not quite league ready yet. We'll just say. But yeah, once I'm done getting the testing ISO ready to go, there will be moveset videos for everybody to see and enjoy.
If people haven't seen them, they've been there's been videos with like reveals for every character that have been posted already, and they're all
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
hype.
Really well made trailers thing behind it.
Oh yeah, like we had several people, Geom, Snuffy, Zal, who else? Tosh was involved. I think there might have been one or two others. I'm looking in that channel now, but I think it was mostly G, Snuffy, and Tosh that work, and along with Zal working towards that. So it's, yeah, no, they did a fantastic job. Do y'all want me to read off some of the new rosters just to give people an idea?
Sure.
Or yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, so for those who don't know, in order to accommodate the testing ISO, I had to we had to do a round of ad drop to pick up the new characters and make space. So I'm just gonna list them in the order I have them written down. Cold is now Frieza, Cooler, Chilled, Mecha Frieza, Nappa. Androids is now General Rildo, Android 17, Cell, Cyborg Tau, Metacooler. Earth Defenders is now Mid Goku, Mastered Ultra Mid Vegeta, excuse me, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, Krillin, Early Goku, and Yamcha. Buu Saga is now Supreme Kai, Goku, Adult Han, Gohan Buu, Kid Buu. Resurrected Warriors roster is now Android 18 and Vegeta, Master Roshi, Caulifla, and Oob. Royals is Majin Vegeta, King Vegeta, Pilaf, Goku Black, Scouter Vegeta. Team GT is now Super GT, and they have Sin Shenron, Rage Shenron, Baby Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and Majin Buu. Kaiju has Bardock, Kid Goku, Slug, Bergamo, and Tapion. Tapion is now league legal. Adult Gohan is now league legal.
And Pycon.
Pycon is now league legal. Rugrats now have Kid Trunks, Goten, Aurelie, Cell Jr., Vegeta Jr. Muscle has Android 13, Super Saiyan Trunks, Kale, Raccoon, Bojack. Sentai has Jiren, Topo, Dispo, Gamma 1 and 2, and Videl. Derp has Hercule, Salza, Frost, Ice Shenron, and Birder. Namek has King Piccolo, Nuova Shenron, Orange Piccolo, Early Piccolo, who now has a giant form, and Late Piccolo. Cinema has Fasha, Super Janemba, Garlic Jr., Naze, and Broly. Budokai has GT Goku and Goku. Chi-Chi, who is now an adult, not the kid form Chi-Chi we used to have. Hit and Pikkon. Hybrids have Future Gohan, Teen Gohan, Saiyaman, Sword Trunks, Ultimate Gohan. And that is everybody.
Royal's
So
out
just-
here breaking the rules. Squee would have a heart attack if he saw that many Vegetas in one team.
I
In
will
case people didn't know, there's a bunch of trades and loans that have not been quote unquote finalized yet. Like staff still needs to go over them. But the plan is for Pilaf to be replaced with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta this coming season. So
So
we'll
now-
have Vegeta, Goku.
I mean, like we have basically nearly Team Vegeta. We have like a Team Goku. We have a Team Gohan. We have a Team Piccolo. It's what?
Buu Saga being completely overhauled.
yeah,
It,
that's going to be interesting.
yeah, I will say it is pretty nice considering how like some teams like GTs kind of had like a hard time getting characters. Buu Saga definitely has been like the same roster for like the past few years. Namek has some buffs, but knowing how limited their roster is, it's nice
I
to
will-
see.
Yeah, it is really good to see. I'll just say there is a reason why we had 3 options for Namek on there.
Yep. And then
It is rather nice.
while we might not get into them today, obviously, because you know they'll be revealed at some other point, there are some other modded characters that are FA exclusive or some that just weren't picked up, and
Oh yeah.
there are also 2 modded fusions, I believe, but we currently don't have a team that has access to one of them.
Correct. And I'll just go ahead and read those off. That was Beerus, Whis, Shallot, and Shallette from DB Legends, Merge Zamasu, and Kefla,
Don't forget SSJ3 Vegeta.
and SS3 Vegeta.
So it is quite a lot, and at least me personally, I just want to thank you for, because knowing this takes the entire year to do.
Oh yeah. This was I started work on this project back in January, and me, Vive, Geom have all been working on it to some extent the entire year, basically. And as I said, we've still been working on it even since the bowl, just to make sure all the quality stuff is there. Any bugs that we found, like Vive found a few animation bugs when he was doing a video for his channel. So you know there is still work to make sure it is the best product humanly possible.
And with that, I want to thank you for all the hard work you put in, honestly. And for anyone wondering, this may be the last, or this upcoming season may be the last one for DBZL. Who knows? Because we do still have SparkingZero on the horizon, correct? Potentially.
Yes, there is work to migrate us over to SparkingZero. I'm not taking the forefront on that work, so I couldn't really tell you how that's doing. Go figure. I've been busy with other things.
Especially one of them being a kid.
Yes, I have a baby. Little Minnie Mal is now 2 months old and eats like a Saiyan. So,
But anyway, yeah. With that, and thank you all for watching for this glorious 20 season. want to first say thank you, happy holidays. I have been your host Destiny, co-host Fathappy,
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Happy holidays.
and our wonderful guest Fiora and Malachi.
Later.
Good to be here. Really was glad to have us chat at the end of the year.
And
Yep, it's been good.
that it's been a good one. Happy holidays, everybody.